There are three questions that every paramedic hears at least once in their life. The first one is,
why did you decide to do this job?
because I like to stab people with needles and tubes. Just joking. The second one is,
What is the most gore thing you've seen on shift?
you don't want to know the answer. Third one,
What do you have in your personal first aid kit?
as that's the question I actually want to answer today. So come and see the kit I have in my car every single day. When I drive to work, travel for conferences, do some private work, or do all the creative things that I do. My name is Alex Hepner and this is Group Call. Now, before I open this bag, I want to disclose that there is no conflict of interest. I was not paid to show you these things. I use them because I genuinely believe they're good. The first thing I need to say is that the bag itself matters. As a pre-hospital clinician, you're going to want a bag that is IPC friendly, reconfigurable, and has higher water resistance. Plus, it has to be balanced enough that you can carry heavy loads for long periods of time without wanting to die. That means thick straps and a really good waist belt to take the weight off your back and shoulders. Modulator happens to be great at all these things. Plus, with literally dozens of different sizes of pouches, you can easily plan the interior, making it work for yourself. The one downfall of this bag is its size. I would love the manufacturer to introduce a slightly smaller version. Doing whole day medical cover or search and rescue job with a fully loaded modulator is a bit tricky. Now, this very front top pocket is the best ever. It has a surprise, which I will leave for a little bit later. Let's open this thing. When it comes to a personal kit bag, you really have to learn how to make compromises, because as much as you might like to bring the whole ICU with you, you also need to be able to carry this stuff on your back and fit it in your car. So you have to learn not to be too precious and focus on functionality over everything else. I decided to divide my bag into C, A, B, C, D, E sections. In the top one, which is a cat hem pouch, I have my absolutely amazing mini trauma shares, a rapid stop tourniquet with a unique ratcheting system, plus a Slishman wrap, a relatively new product that I dare to say one day will replace tourniquets. Its circumferential pressure seems to be better than the majority of well-known products, and pain sensation is lower. It can be used on adults, pediatrics, or even dogs. It's lighter and smaller than traditional tourniquets. Once I've used it on a member of my family and it worked brilliantly. That's the best recommendation I can give. Next, we have some hemostatic gauzes. I use Celox Rapid and Speed M. Celox is based on chitosan, Speed M on haloesates. I find both of them equally effective, so it doesn't really matter which you will buy. But the general rule of thumb is to have more than one gauze in your bag. One is almost never enough. I also carry an abdominal or amputation dressing with me. This one is an 8-inch one. I know that you don't come across evisceration or traumatic amputation very often, but this dressing can be used on basically any type of serious wound. That's why I like it. The last item in my cat hem pouch is the Slishman splint. Bleeding to the limb can be life-threatening, therefore quick management of fractured long bone might be a life and death matter. This one is better than other systems because I can apply it on a leg with associated tip fib fracture or a below-knee amputation, which is a contraindication for all commonly used systems. Plus, I can also use it for humerus fractures. Ha! Moving over to the next compartment. This is the airway section with well-known OPAs and NPAs. No rocket science here. However, my one suggestion is have the full range of sizes, as you never know when you'll come across extra large or extra small patients. A couple of weeks ago, I had a patient for whom I had to use NPA size 9. So yeah, just be prepared. Speaking of being prepared, never forget to have Magill forceps. A couple of months ago, I saved my patient's life by removing broken dentures from their throat. That was a simple fall non-injury job, yeah. You might notice that I don't have supraglottic adjuncts here. Well, I have my personal opinion on SGAs, which is widely known. I have carefully read our user's manual and know all contraindications. Plus, I have read TC3 Committee 2024 recommendations, and that's why I decided not to carry them in my bag. But again, this is my personal opinion. What I do carry here is this bad boy, the VS scope, and his little brother Bebe. These are revolutionary bougie introducers with super bright light and the possibility to facilitate a paraglossal intubation, which gives me more chances to be successful in managing a difficult airway in both adults and pediatrics. Number 3 in my set is the breathing pouch. You might notice that I carry only one BVM. That's because I very seriously treat the issue we quite often ignore, which is overinflation. Tidal volume of your pediatric patient is 6 to 8 mL per kilo of actual body mass, and your adult patient's tidal volume is 6 to 8 mL per kilo of ideal body mass. This means that you very rarely come across the patient whose tidal volume is much over 550 mL, and I definitely want to avoid overinflating lungs, which, as you know, may result in increasing intrathoracic pressure, impairing venous return, and physically restrain the myocardium, hence why only one small BVM. I have catheter mount though, which gives me a great opportunity to work around the patient in confined spaces or during extrication. Just be aware, guys, this device adds to the dead space and the manufacturer does not support the use of it in pediatric resuscitation. And that brings us nicely to the next compartment, and do not worry, I did not forget about the super front pouch. We will get there very, very soon. The pouch on the bottom consists of equipment to prevent hypothermia. Quite often we focus on hemorrhage itself and forget about other elements of the lethal diamond. And let's face it, hypothermia is one of the easily manageable elements. Therefore, I carry not only the Blizzard blanket but also something I personally find very useful, which is a ready heat tube blanket. Once open, its components will react with the oxygen in the atmosphere and generate heat up to 37 degrees and will last for up to 8 hours. Really good stuff. Here I carry 2 different chest seals, which I find super effective. You have a big balling seal, slightly smaller but still amazingly good forks, plus a dedicated needle for chest decompression. Yes, I'm at firm opinion that cannulas are for cannulation and dedicated needles should be used for chest decompression. Just think about the chest wall thickness, right? Last but not least, we go back to the bleeding control, and I have 2 small pouches full of different dressings here. I have some bandages, gauzes, but I also carry something that my British friends are not really familiar with, and that's a stretchy tubular gauze bandage, which is perfect if you need to create a quick and robust dressing, especially for minor head injuries. And that brings us to the front pouch I promised to show you. What I have here again, some hemorrhage and bleeding control stuff. In the first section I have a couple of tourniquets plus some foil blankets. In the second one, bandages. But what makes this pouch special is the fact that I can remove those sections and give it to someone else, like when I'm on the sport event or a pile up on the motorway and I'm dealing with a patient and someone, maybe a first aider, approaches me and shouts that 100 meters away is the patient who's bleeding. Then I can just remove this section and give it to them, asking to apply it and, let them know that I will be there in a couple of minutes. The last thing is this, and yes, I have a C-collar here. Those of you who've been on the channel for some time know that I don't follow the crowd, and when angry mob wants to burn all the collars, I ask the question, why? So far, I can accept only the argument about the blood flow restrictions. Therefore, I use X-collar. This device not only does not compress jugulars, but what I find really useful, allows me to splint the C-spine in so-called position found. So I don't have to waste time using blankets to stabilize the patient's head. Now, if you want to see another collar that actually doesn't restrict blood flow, please watch this video. Meanwhile, let me take my dog for a proper walk now. My name is Alex Hepner and this was Group Call.